celebrating the world's most popular sport. This is Ultimate Soccer. And now your host, here's Soccer Steve.
Tonight's outfit, another smart little rendition for Team Canada. So there you go. A little bit of upcycling. Look that up, upcycling. But welcome in, guys, welcome in. I'll tell you what, I am still buzzing. I still love that we got them 3 points in Honduras. And I'm really looking forward to the US game. I'm not worried about a thing. You shouldn't be either. We're on the crest of a wave. Let's keep surfing this all the way to Qatar. I'll tell you what, wow, absolutely. The Honduras game in a nutshell. There's one thing I want to tell you before we get into this pre-game USA. That referee, I've had a lot of people say, what the hell was he doing? Let me refresh your memories. Do you remember the Gold Cup last year, 2021? Yeah. Do you remember that game against Mexico? Yeah. Do you remember them 2 penalties? Yeah. Well, Danion Parchment is his name. He's a Jamaican referee, and I didn't forget about him from then until this game. When I saw him and knew that he was the referee for the Honduras game, I said to myself, you know, he is quite fair, but boy, oh boy. Does he need to get a lesson on the carding system? I tell you. So, for all those guys that were calling in and saying, hey, the referee, yada, 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 what's with the referee, la, 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 la. Well, there's a little bit of information that you might have forgotten about, but hey, Danion Parchment, Jamaican referee, he's not a bad guy, but you've seen him before, and it's Concacaf, and Gold Cup is Concacaf. And that's the kind of thing you got to put up with, yeah? So, there you go. Anyway, I'm still buzzing. I hope you're still buzzing. Sunday's coming really fast. We've got some things to go through really quickly. And this is not going to be the long-winded format. So, getting straight to it. The form for Team Canada. Yeah. Over the last 2 years, 20 games competition, 14 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. The 2 losses were against Mexico 1-0 in the Gold Cup. Sorry, 2-1 in the Gold Cup. And the USA 1-0 in the Gold Cup as well. That was last year. Prior to that, over the last 2 years, no losses. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good. I'll tell you what. It's exceptional. None of the games have been close for Canada. And they've only won 1-0 2 times. They did, however, collect their biggest ever record win. That was 11-0 history, and that was against the Cayman Islands in the earlier phases of qualifying. So a little bit of form for you, a little bit in depth. Check out the picture when it drops up. You'll see that the form looks really green, and green is what you love to see. Green is wins, yellows are ties, and reds or pinky colour are losses. We've only got 2 losses in 2 years. That's pretty good. Now, the other thing about having good form is that when you take on big teams that have good form, it makes it a really interesting competition or a contest or a fight. We'll talk about that later in the show. But there's a little bit of Canadian form. Now, looking at the US form, it's not so bad. They've had 23 competition wins. They've won 18. They've drawn 3 and lost 2. They lost at the Gold Cup against Panama 1-0. That might shock you. And then the other game that they lost was against Switzerland, and that was a 2-1 loss. They have 18 wins out of those 23 games. 2 losses, 3 draws. That's pretty good. So USA's got great form. Team Canada's got great form. Something that they both share is that they're both young throughout the team and the squad. If you look at the US's lineup, it's not that old. There are a couple of senior players, but they're not old guys. And as like with Canada, we got a lot of young guys too. So this matches up because both these teams have the fitness to get around the field, no problem. And they've got the lungs to last for 90 minutes too. Where these teams will differ is experience on the ball, knowing when to release the pass and knowing when to be in space and when to block a lane, or, you know what I'm saying, that experience that you learn by playing many games. By the time you get to a national team, you should have at least played 300 to 400 games, even including your amateur days. So let's put it this way. Young teams, very skillful, young strike forces, young defenders, young midfielders, with a sprinkling of old timers and experience in both squads. They match up really good. So there's another thing in the form books that says, hey, this is not going to be an easy game for either teams. Side note, I've had a few American fans start dancing on my doorstep and giving me a little bit of stick. It's all good needle. It's all good banter. And they're saying, wait for Sunday. We're going to put you Canadians back in your place. Yeah. Wait for Sunday. We're going to put you back in your place. Wait for Sunday, guys. Let's see what happens. But yeah, few Canadian fans, few American fans have said this, that, and the other. But the overlying sentiment is that Canadian fans are being told, wait for Sunday. You're going to get put back in your place. So let's see what happens. But it's kind of interesting. And to have that banter, beautiful. So thank you, the American fans and Mexican fans and Jamaican fans, Canadian fans that are jumping in on this channel. Thank you very much. So keep subscribing, keep pushing it. And let's have a lot of it. Key players for Team Canada, you got to say, look at the minutes that they used up in Game 1. That will tell you how they're probably going to line up again. But I do expect to see Tejon Buchanan. I do expect to see Jonathan David. Kyle Larin came out early in the game, so he's literally probably going to come back into the game or maybe start again. I'd like to see Cavallini get some more time. Cavallini came into the game late to make sure that that zone up front was covered, and he did a great job. In the time that Cavallini was on, he did a fantastic job, and he worked and chased and hurried, and he made life hard on that back line of Honduras. So it's all about who's played, who's got time, and who's going to come into the game. But key players definitely for Canada, it's Buchanan, it's Kyle Larin, it's Jonathan David, but I'd also like to think in this game, Ike Ugbo is coming on in. So he, to me, could be a guy to start. He's only got one game in for Canada, but he's quality. Lots of games for the England system coming through. I think he needs a run. I think he needs a start. And considering he didn't get no time in Honduras, I'd like to think there's a good chance he'll be included in this game. And he's got legs. He's got a shot. And above all, coming out of the camp, he's actually quite a lovely guy too. Lovely character, lovely personality. So he basically fits in with the rest of what we've got. Okay, so he's a team player, playing for the team. Hopefully, I say he gets on the team against the US this Sunday. It should happen. I really think he's due it. You could say defensively, Bojan is going to be our star player again. Daniel Henry maybe. Steven Vittoria, I wouldn't think he'd play the 90. Looked pretty exhausted. So you got to think who's played minutes, who's going to be there. But star players for Canada, you hear what I'm saying. For the Americans, it's pretty easy. I mean, Pulisic from Chelsea, top player. 43 games for America, 17 goals at that time. Quality player. I mean, he is a world-class guy. But he can only be world-class if the team's firing, yeah? Again, the USA's a young team, not really old, not that experienced. But what they have is quality. And it's got lots of energy. There's lots of youth. And there's a lot of size. The US has got the potential to put out a very big team. Guess what? So does Canada. But on the side of Pulisic, he needs the team to make it happen for him. He can make things happen, and he is a top quality player. We got to watch him very, very carefully. Jordan Morris, another guy, 41 games, 10 goals for the States, 27 years of age with Seattle. He can do some damage too. We've got to keep an eye on him. And Aronson, the youngster, 16 games for the States, 5 goals, and he's with Red Bull Salzburg. He could be another danger to watch as well. They've got other guys. Lidgett, top player. Gardes, another top player. I mean, I can go on about the US with a bit of the experienced players too, especially Gardes. But, you know, both these teams match up. On the day, I say it's who wants it most will get the win. And also, when we get to it about Hamilton, what kind of field and what's the weather doing? I'll let you know about that pretty soon. But I tell you, these teams match up. There's star players. Whoever has the team functioning on the day, right from the word go, and can adapt to the competition and the weather and the field after being in their club teams for so long, the team that gets game 2 really right. Because let's face it, game 1, both teams were not firing perfectly, but game 2 is the backbreaker for these two. Whoever wins this really puts a gap between themselves and second It's massive, this game. Everything's riding on it for the US and for Canada. Whoever wants it most will take it. It's very tight. You could say maybe advantage Canada. And for all those American fans, love you guys. Keep bringing the abuse. You're going to put us in our place. We'll see when the ball starts rolling. Okay, but anyway, there's a few star players. Possible lineups is this. You're going to have to look at both teams. Look at that picture with the times for Team Canada. There's a few minutes there that you could literally go through your mind and say, okay, he's played a few, he hasn't played. You could start matching up and saying who you're going to think is coming in. I could see Mark-Anthony Kaye being in there for sure. Didn't play in the first game. Want to see him. I want to see Mark-Anthony Kaye in there massively. I really, really do. Why? Well, we need that pivot player. He's the one that can spray the ball left and right, and he really did show in the games that he's played that he can really throw it left and right. Good in the challenge, tracks back, covers, top team player, and quite frankly, he's very good on the ball. All that he needs to do next is maybe pop a shot from maybe 25 yards out, straight in front of goal. Just let one go, because he's certainly got the technique. But I'd like to see Mark-Anthony Kaye get in there for sure. A couple of other players, you've got to say, Ike Ugbo. This is now the time that he should be in there. He really should be in there. I think that no minutes last game means he's got to have minutes this time. Johnny Herdman did all the shuffling in the last game with the substitutions, with the tactical switches, did it perfectly. You can see who is rested in that first game. So just do the numbers, guys. Look at who's been rested. Look who had minimal minutes. That can be the nucleus starting through for the second game. And by game 3, you'll do the same again. You can't go 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. You'll just wear yourselves out totally. Now, Hamilton news. Yeah, some Hamilton news. The first thing I'm going to tell you is the weather on Sunday is not going to be nice. They're not saying snow right now, but it's not being ruled out completely. So, you've got that moisture coming off the lake, a little bit of a breeze, -6, plastic turf. It's going to make it interesting for the ball. I would say shoot low, let it skid off the turf. It could fool the keeper and just bobble over the line. It would be lovely to see that happen. But hey, check the weather. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. So, wrap up warm, everybody. And you know what? We saw what happened in Edmonton with a bad field. So people said it was a bad field. This is a good field. So check the video right now. Just a refresher. This is what the field is all about. We got no problems with the field, guys. Check out.
So on this first passage of play, just look how naturally the ball flows on the field. It bounces nice, it rolls nice. Guy comes across, can get a shot off, and it rolls nicely past the goal. This one here, going for the long ball now. Tussle in the middle, gets brought down, but it's bouncing naturally. Good save from the keeper, and again it bounces naturally past the post. Know the pitch, Hamilton. Cross comes in, natural header, bang, in the goal. Beautiful. Keeper, bring that one out. And a long play now down the wing. Brings it under control. Crosses. Heads on goal. Just past the post. Coming into Hamilton. Against the USA, we shouldn't have a problem. The field is good, guys. The field is good.
See? No problem with that field. Now, last of all, as we move out, we'll take a look at the table as we drift out to the break. But the game plan for Canada. You've got to think it's quite simple, really. We continue to play in our shape. We're probably going to go with the 4-3-2-1 again. We're going to have the wing-backs moving up and down the line. Ricky Larea came in late, so he's got plenty of legs coming in now. Adekugbe could go another game and maybe then come out late. It all depends what we want to see. But we're going to see Canada play that same system. All we need to do is play in ourselves, play within ourselves. Don't worry about the USA. When we've got the ball, keep possession and literally tactically play that long ball into the quadrants or the pivot. Give it into Mark-Anthony Kaye. Let him dictate which way it's going. It's too bad we don't have Stephen Eustáquio because they tandem together perfectly. But Mark-Anthony Kaye, I expect to see him in there. Tandem with possibly Miller. They'll spray the ball left and right. The wing play from Tejon will be perfect again. I mean, the guy's on fire. We're going to look for things in the middle from Johnny David, Carl Larin, Ike Ugbo. I want to see Ike. I want to see him start, actually. Take some of the pressure off the other guys, start up and go for it. I really think there's something to be said by starting Ike Ugbo. That's another thing that I want to see happen. On the switch side of the offense, we know what we're doing. Just do what you do. If you can do another one of those Jonathan David goals from the last game, oh my life. Have you ever seen anything so good? I'll tell you what, best goal I've ever seen in Canadian history. That goal there. No disrespect to any of the other guys, but Jonathan David, my man. What a goal. The whole world is yakking about it. Unbelievable. Anyway, forward line, you know what to do. We ain't got no problems. The midfield, we're going to have some crunch to the tackle. We'll disperse the ball. We'll have the pivot going like you've seen before. And most of all, we're not going to be overawed. The US is coming in as the big dog. We know they're the big dog. But you know what? We're a big dog too. So, keep it simple, stupid will be the motto. That same style of going into the wing play. Keep your table even. Don't get caught out at the back and play into space like we always do. They've got it mastered. It's absolute perfect to see it. So, wait for Sunday, cold day. USA, Canada, it's going to be lovely. I'm going to get into it. We'll do a post-game straight after. And what am I saying for a scoreline? I'm sticking to what I said. I see a 1-1. Could be 2-2 outside 2-2. But 1-1 is what I see. You've got to say both teams can win this. It's not just Canada that can win this. The USA is capable of taking this game too. I think that's probably what we've got to look at. And above all, head-to-head. America has bossed this all the way through for results, etc., etc. But they've had a league, they've had an infrastructure, and slowly but surely, over the last 20 years, Canada has caught up. That's evidence with the recent win that Canada did have 2-0 in the Nations League. Now they got a draw last game in America. The next step is to get the win. Canada is perfectly in line to do so, is capable of getting the win. Like I say, I look at this as a draw, and I say both teams are capable of winning it, but I'll say last of all, it is a slight advantage Canada, and just like that Azteca, it's going to be cold. And Canadians don't mind the cold, and the fans don't mind the cold, so get ready guys, Sunday afternoon, it's on, and hopefully Kyle can do us a favour with another couple of goals. Okay guys, I'll talk to you after the next game. And by the way, thanks everybody again, subscribers and poets who comment down below. And hey, it's a lot of fun. Thank you.